Not there being a whole op-ed on Carlos King crossing the line by bringing Martel's concubine on Love and Marriage Huntsville. We got to get into it, y'all. Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So, anything I say is alleged and in my very, very personal opinion. This for entertainment purposes only. None of this is personal. The Copyright Act of 1976 is in the description box. Some meat and potatoes, some housekeeping items. So, today we are talking Love and Marriage Huntsville. Today we are talking Carlos King. Today we are talking Melody Cherie Rogers, you guys, because there is an op-ed, there is an expose on Carlos King and how Carlos King crossed the line, you guys. I also have another video, you guys, that you might see before or after this one. I'm not sure yet, but it is also a video about fabricating the ratings and misleading the people about the ratings with no figures. No. So what happened was, I was on the Instagrammies, you guys. I was on the Instagrammies, and what had popped up on my feed, you guys, was a post that said the following that I want to get into. And it also had a video, but I feel like since we're going to be reading the article, I don't feel like the video necessarily might be necessary. But anyways, we'll get into, because it's screenshots of the article that I'm going to be discussing with you guys. But I want to get into this post. So this is from the real Crystal Jordan. Is this from Crystal XOXO? No. So it says, King publicly shared a private conversation he had with Rogers after the show was greenlit. She wanted to renege when she learned that Holt's affair was not over. King explained that he promised that Rogers that he would protect her and make the show worth doing. No. If this is what protection looks like, I will pass. King's drive to produce scandal-filled television and increase ratings doesn't always align morally. Yes, drama is what sells, but at what expense? Read the entire article at www.lennoxandparker.com. Hashtag LAMH, hashtag Love and Marriage Huntsville. Here's the thing. I already saw my notifications blowing up. I already saw some of y'all were sending me the website, and I was like, listen, look at here. I got you. Listen, look at here. Anonymous T has got you. Don't you worry. So let's get into the article without further ado. So it says, Carlos King has crossed the line. And again, this is on lennoxandparker.com. This is written by Brenda Alexander. This was written on August 13th, 2026. I will be sure to pin this link in the comments so you guys can go view the article for yourself. It says the following. It says, alas, after 12 seasons, the women partially responsible for dismantling the marriage between Martel Holt and Melody Cherie's Rogers' marriage is finally getting her 15 minutes of fame. By now, Love and Marriage Huntsville fans have seen the explosive trailer featuring the much talked about concubine. She'll appear as Holt's love interest, finally moving from the shadows into a shared confessional. It has been a long road. Holt and the concubine have been discussed since the show's inception. Realistically, it makes sense for her to appear on the show. To me, it doesn't. I disagree, and I'll explain later. Considering she is, quote-unquote, is his leading lady, Neil, but this serves as the ultimate betrayal to Rogers. It is a slap in the face on both a personal and professional level. King lauds himself as the executive producer and creator of the show. While he had a hand in bringing the show to life, LAMH is the brainchild of Rogers. Thank you. She initially pitched the idea to King after paying for a consultation with the self-proclaimed king of reality television. Holt and Rogers wanted to do an HGTV-style home renovation show. Knowing that ensemble shows centering on couples and friend groups had a stronger chance of getting picked up, King reworked the idea, suggesting the show follow 3 successful couples in Huntsville in various stages of life and love, with real estate as the background theme. Thus, LAMH was born. Obviously, Holt and Rogers' marital drama surrounding his ongoing affair with the concubine took center stage. After their divorce and the subsequent drama that followed on and off camera, Rogers exited the show. Rogers has alluded to producers trying to get the concubine to appear on the show previously, but of course she put a strong stop to it. So while Melody Cherie allegedly was on the show, but this is something that the other cast has talked about, that there has been discussion of trying to get the concubine on the show. And remember that story that allegedly she was on set and was not supposed to be on set, and it caused a whole thing. During the season 3 reunion, she sat by as King questioned Holt about whether he would have chosen the concubine over her if he'd met his mistress first. With Rogers gone, the concubine has entered the fold on the very platform she created, pushing the knife even further in the back, twisting it mercilessly. King should be ashamed. King publicly shared a private conversation he had with Rogers after the show was greenlit that she wanted to renege when she learned that Holt's affair was not over. King explained that he promised Rogers that he'd protect her and make the show worth doing. If this is what protection looks like, I'll pass. King's drive to produce scandal-filled television and increase ratings doesn't always align morally. Yes, the drama is what sells, but at what expense? Some of his decisions have been questioned by those who trusted him to tell him their stories, some whom once considered him a close friend and a confidant. Years ago, Kandi Burruss and her family had a close relationship and business partnership with King. Not only did King work as a producer on Real Housewives of Atlanta for 9 seasons, but he also worked as a co-creator and a producer on separate reality TV shows with Burruss's then husband, Todd Tucker. Things eventually soured, and Burruss would later allege King tried to produce a biopic based off of her group Escape without her knowledge or involvement. He then eventually even went as far as to trying to get her mother, Mama Joyce, involved. King has taken the high road and opted out of defending himself publicly, but says that he is open to having a conversation with Burruss privately, even inviting her to his YouTube show. No. That's all for clicks and views. Former Love and Marriage DC star Monique Samuel said King begged to work with her after she left the Real Housewives of Potomac. After a few years, she claimed she finally gave in under the guise that she'd be treated better within a King-produced project. Samuels learned the hard way. According to her, she was treated worse than she was treated during her time on Bravo. Samuels alleged that she was edited to look like a stereotypical angry black woman, while her then-husband Chris Samuels was painted as the good black man with an ungrateful wife. She exited the show after 1 season and filed for a divorce a year later. Samuels would later reveal in her memoir that her marriage was riddled with emotional and financial abuse and even turned physical at one point. Sophia Soguchi Williams and Akeisha Colon, formerly of Bell Collective, have also shared their grievances about working on a King-produced show, claiming dramatic narratives were pushed and plots were centered on destroying their marriages were favored. Things got so bad that Colon quit the show while being interviewed on King's podcast. For Colon, that seemingly was her payback. King now hosts weekly podcasts on his YouTube channel, does live tours, and has landed some sought-after interviews with reality stars. He slowly made the transition from behind the camera to actual talent. One of his favorite things to remind viewers is that being a reality star is no easy feat and not something he would ever personally do, as he doesn't care to share his personal life. But you want to be the star, like a reality star. Exploiting others' highs and lows, however, he can manage. It also seems he does enjoy the spotlight and desires some level of fame and public admiration, which contradicts what he has vowed not to do. At some point, Rogers will speak candidly about how all this feels. Until then, she has to watch the house that she built be torn down again. Love her or hate her, you have to feel for her. The show she created has continued in her absence, and now with the woman who contributed to the demise of her marriage involved. Meanwhile, King has produced 2 spin-offs of LAMH, one in Detroit and another in DC, without giving Rogers proper credit or financial compensation. That's what the kids call, quote-unquote, nasty work. The entertainment industry is a business first. One can say King shouldn't be faulted for doing what's good for his business. The Kingdom Reign empire is expanding with multiple shows across various networks, but his personal relationships have seemingly suffered along his reputation for trustworthiness. And I can argue that that Family Empire show is low-key kind of what Melody and Martell originally wanted Love and Marriage Huntsville to be. I think this is a fantastic article. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not just saying that, you know what I'm saying, because I've been critical of how Carlos King has been moving and everything else. But I feel like a lot of people who do not like Melody Cherie or want to big up Carlos King or just want to big up the mess of it all in supporting Martell's concubine being on Love and Marriage Huntsville finally after 12 seasons are not factoring in the behind the scenes stuff, right? And this basically exposes that Carlos King lied to Mel. So for people who say, oh, I don't understand why people are saying that Carlos King backstabbed Mel, it's a business, it's reality TV, da-da-da-da-da. So if you trusted somebody with your personal story and you didn't even want to do the show, you were willing to walk away from the show before this show was even slated to start filming because you wanted to handle your issues with your marriage and come on the show on top, come on the show in a better place. Instead, Carlos King is like, listen, look at here. I'm going to protect you no matter what. Exposing this story is going to be good for the audience. There will be a lot of women that'll relate to you. All of this, all of that. You'll get a lot of support, all of the things. But the problem with Carlos King is this. He plays favorites with all of his cast members. And as long as you do not become bigger than him, he is Gucci with you. He is cool with you. The moment you become bigger than him, he has to find a way to dismantle things for you and ruin things for you. We saw it on Real Housewives of Atlanta. And then on three separate shows, there has been DRUG, rape allegations, grooming allegations, and on two of his shows, revenge porn. But people swear, there's no way that he could be associated with it. It falls on the cast member that put it out there. But who greenlit it? Who oversaw it? Who was in the editing room with the other producers and staff that's seeing this play out? Wasn't it Winter that said that there was a scene where she was going back and forth with the man? And there was a producer that was egging it on and was hyping up the man to continue to attack Winter, a black woman, for ratings, for clicks and views of the show, that this is how black women need to be treated and spoken to? No. Like it's insane that so many people give Carlos King a pass because they want to hold on to the image of what he was on Bravo during the glory years of Real Housewives of Atlanta, but people always want to leave out season 9. But because that also was on Carlos King's watch. Just like people loved Love and Marriage Huntsville at the beginning, the first couple of seasons. Even though there was mess and drama, it wasn't toxic, it didn't get to a point. But the moment Melody and Martell divorced, Carlos King needed to pivot. There was no reason for Martell to still be on that show. And then for him to spew so many lies and misinformation and slander against his ex-wife because he was mad that she had the audacity to leave him. And he stole their 17,000, the joint 34,000, he stole 17,000 out of that. And went and let her get all of her things when it was time to go and was up here trying to stunt, wearing her clothes, wearing her fur and stuff. It was a hot mess express. But people try to make it seem that Melody Cherie was the aggressor when it's clearly her husband. And her ex-husband is still causing all this havoc on social media and in real life. Can't even celebrate the fact that the show's coming back and he finally was able to get his concubine on. Still has to make it about Mel. Still worried about Mel and not celebrating this show. But my thing is, there's been so many conversations and promises that I guarantee you Carlos King made to Mel And like I said, the moment Mel didn't do something he wanted, or the rumor that, allegedly he wanted Mel to have him as her manager so that could keep her pigeonholed into this show and not fly and spread her wings, not have better opportunities for herself. Not, you know what I'm saying? Just keep her pigeonholed right then and there under Kingdom Reign. But you can't ignore all of the black women who have quit his shows and have spoke about mistreatment and how horrible that they were done. All of the promises Carlos King made, only for when the show to come out, they're looking like the villain. They're looking like the crazy black woman, the angry black woman, all of the things. And Carlos King just gets to sit back and collect the checks and worry about whether or not he's trending on Twitter, and not taking into account the mental and emotional and physical impact that it has on all these black women, and propping up problematic black men who did nothing to protect their black wives or significant other or ex-wives. The fact Carlos King has consistently chose Martell over Melody should tell you everything you need to know. But it was the same Carlos King when Melody presented this show to him and presented this idea to him. He made all the false promises to her. And I can argue, of the O Network, Mel is the best thing that ever happened to both Martell and Carlos King. The show's not the same without Mel. You can't make a concubine into a housewife. You can't make starless people on a show into stars, because the ratings would say otherwise. So I always felt like this was a last-ditch effort. If the concubine was going to be on the show, it would have been when Mel's there. But like I said, I have outlined in numerous videos the number of Bravo shows where the housewives got in a divorce, they got cheated on, they got played. And not once did any of the mistresses that their ex-husbands cheated on them with had an opportunity on Housewives to platform themselves. But see, y'all excuse it in our community. Y'all excuse it in the black community that it's okay because y'all like drama. But really, it's y'all don't like Mel. Because if there was a real side chick that was produced in any of the other marriages on that show, y'all would be against this. But because it's Melody SHARI and some of y'all don't like her, y'all wanted this, and y'all specifically wanted the concubine on the show to see her and Melody SHARI get into an altercation, or to see Melody SHARI humbled and humiliated as if she has not experienced enough humiliation from her ex-husband alone. And this show still using Melody SHARI concept and ideas, and Neil, the mistress who knowingly got involved with a married man and did an inflammatory and disgusting interview with Tasha K, to sit there on the house that Melody SHARI built, to sit there on the platform Melody SHARI built for all y'all to eat, is diabolical, is disgusting, and you're never going to convince me that it's okay. At some point, you have to say, you know what? Integrity is everything. Having moral sound is everything. But when you're at the point when it's anything for $1, there's no limits, there's no boundaries anymore. And that's the part that really is unfortunate, but I'm glad that everybody is able to see everyone's true colors. And I don't think this is going to work out the way people think it's going to. I really don't. But ultimately, we will see what happens. We will see if Carlos King has a response to this article, because there's been a lot of backlash. As much as people want to support the concubine being on the show to try to drown out the noise and the negativity and the backlash, there's been a lot of backlash. A lot of people aren't effing with this. So I really hope, you know what I'm saying, for Melody SHARI. I saw earlier that her collection, her collab with Drew Sidora, all of the collections, all of the bundles have sold out. And this is what happens when you bet on money making Mel, is that any collab you have with her is going to be a success. Is going to work itself out, is going to be, a positive thing. So ultimately, that is what I got for this video. That is all that I have for this video. I need y'all to do me a big favor. I need y'all to do y'all biggest one, and that is to hype the video. Hype the video, please. Hype the video like you never hyped a video before in your life. There's that. That is it. That is all. It's todo es final. It's finito. Is he on the road? Is he on the line for this video? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post the content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.